Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, Clark's injury was the big news out the gate. However, we got a lot of other good, juicy interviews out of the media day coverage from Paige Bueckers, from Ary McDonald, from Amber Cox, and even Dewanna Bonner on her Instagram. I'm going to run us all through it. And without further ado, let's talk about it. And the first thing we're going to start with is Paige Bueckers is a real one. She was being interviewed about her upcoming matchup with Caitlin Clark that was supposed to happen tomorrow in the back-to-back. Looks like that is likely not going to happen, but she was asked about the pressure that's put on her and Clark, and she had some insightful things to say.
Caitlin, the way she's had to deal with media, you've kind of dealt with it this year. Have you learned anything from the way she's dealt with it maybe last year?
I would just say, like, she handles it with grace, and the pressure that she's put on every single night to perform at the level that she does, it's inhumane, really, like, to expect people to be perfect and to not have off games or off nights. And if she doesn't go like 8 for 10 from 3, like, people are questioning things. It's unfair to have to deal with that, but I'm sure she has like a great team around her and great people to help her. And I know she's a great person at dealing with it, and just tuning out the noise and just continue to be there for herself and for her team. But
do you feel that pressure as well, like the 8 for 10 type of expectations?
More, it's like for me, it's like the pressure I put on myself. I'm a perfectionist. I think every shot I shoot should go in, so when it doesn't, but then also, like she talked about, just being able to give yourself grace and know that you are not perfect, and there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be good games, there's going to be bad games, but as long as you keep it forward, keep pushing, and keep learning and keep growing from game to game, that's all you can ask for.
Now, it's understandable that Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark, they play on the U19 team. They respect one another. They've both been in the spotlight. They've both been relentlessly compared as like the next greatest thing through college, through their careers. So obviously they're going to bond through those experiences, and I'm sure that they talk on the side. Maybe it's not like every night thing, but I'm sure that they definitely do support each other because they are in similar positions as far as media scrutiny and attention goes. Now, with what Paige specifically said in this, I think that it is really fair. I mean, if you actually look across right now of big shooters, Kelsey Plum's in a 3-point shooting slump. Paige Bueckers herself is having a little bit of a 3-point shooting slump. There's a lot of players that aren't shooting well in the league, right? It's not just Caitlin Clark. And I think that there's a lot of other things fans put on to these players about what's wrong with them, about how they're feeling internally, emotionally, what have you. And they do have a lot of pressure. But the other thing is like they are their own worst critics. Like they are the ones that are the perfectionists. They're the ones saying they need to give themselves grace when they're not performing well. And I think that at the end of the day, if you see Caitlin Clark not happy, a lot of it's not going to be because of some secret cabal or thing that's going on the side. A lot of it's like she is upset because she is not performing well. She is frustrated because maybe there's an injury that's holding her back, or something that's holding her back. She can't quite get right after her injury, and she's, trying to work herself back into healthy shape. And it's just been a struggle so far. For Ary McDonald, she was interviewed about her coming back, and so this is what she had to say.
It feels amazing to be back. I feel like I've been part of the team since the beginning. It's a blessing to be back, and everybody, embraced me, and I'm excited to play tonight.
They've all gushed about your fit here. Do you feel like you fit here better or the same as other places you've been before in your career? What makes you feel like you've been able to play yourself in so quickly?
I definitely think I'm a perfect fit here. Just the style of play, the pace, wanting to get paint touches and just, play through the bigs and stuff like that, just the guard play. I think that I fit here, and I'm easy to plug in and just play with anybody. Yeah, Amber and I had, multiple talks, just possibly about me coming back, and I was interested, but I did want to go up through the process. There were a couple other teams interested, and I was just upfront with Amber. I'm like, hey, of course, I would love to be here, but I'm going to explore just to see what the other teams are talking about. But, in the back of my mind, I just knew this is the place to be. I gave the fans, the team, just, a little taste of what I can do. So I'm like, just imagine if I'm here and just really knowing the plays and just the offense. I'm like, then I'm able to give more of myself and just to my teammates and just to perform better overall. I still love to be prepared. I'm a person, preparation is everything to me. So just, going back, watching plays and just watching their games, when I was home, just like, oh, I recognize that set.
played against Atlanta. Now you have the chance of playing against LA right away. So what's your mentality for tonight specifically?
My mentality tonight is be on demon time.
I think it's also really interesting that Aari had other offers. She mentioned about it. She was going to go explore, see what other teams were going to offer. But in the back of her head, she knew Indiana is where she wanted to be. The fans love her. She dropped into our system very seamlessly. Even Amber Cox echoed this. But she fits in perfect. She knows the system. She was paying attention to the system when she was out. And of course, the team was happy to have her back. And like I said, this game, she said she's on demon time. She's on demon time. She wants to prove to the Sparks that they made a mistake, and she's happy in her new home. And I am happy to see her on the court, and we need her for this game because, you know, if we still didn't have her and Dewanna Bonner was sitting out or whatever was going on, if we didn't have a true point guard again, this game would be really up in the air. But with her, I feel like that we can get through whatever we have to get through currently for Caitlin Clark to get her legs back under her and get healthy. Because really, long-term for Caitlin Clark is what matters, her health, not just trying to push her back in. Because I know she wants to get in I'm sure it's a dynamic situation where she just really wants to get back on the court. She's trying to get up to game shape and she's just starting to stumble. And the problem is like once you have like kind of the body, the body works together, right? And so a foot thing can become a knee thing, can come, you know, go throughout your body depending because you're compensating and you're trying to push other parts of your body, which wears out other parts. And so I think that clearly that left leg has been through a lot and really just needs to be rehabbed into a healthy state because the long term is what matters. Now for Amber Cox side, she was asked pretty heavily about the Dewanna Bonner situation, and this is what she had to say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Dewanna's a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, one of the best that's ever played our game. We were really excited when she decided to come here in the off season. And, you know, as we got into the season, she just expressed that she didn't feel like it was a good fit for her. You know, we talked through that. We had conversations. Obviously, we made some adjustments to lineup, some of the things we were doing. And we just couldn't get it to a place where, you know, it felt good for her. And, you know, so as we got further along in the process, we explored trade options. And then just, you know, it's pretty early in the season, given the level of Dewanna's contract, we just couldn't find something suitable. So at the end of the day, you know, we respect her status as a veteran in this league. We had the opportunity to bring Aari back around the timing with the 10-day wait period. So we just felt like it was best for all parties to part ways. Wish her nothing but the best. Sorry it didn't work out, but we move on, and we're excited about the team that we have on the court.
The decision to have her not be with you guys was listed as personal reasons. Was that a team decision or was that a Bonner thing? Both? How exactly would you characterize that?
I think as we were going through the process, it just felt better for her to step away, you know. Again, as we were sorting through what it was going to look like, you know, if it could be a return, exploring a trade, you know, again, it wasn't a decision that any of us made lightly. So it was a lot of conversations, and again, as we got into that process of exploring a trade, and we knew it likely was not going to be something that was going to last the duration of the season, we gave her that opportunity to step away.
And you've had a roster spot available, and then now you have the cap space to potentially sign someone. Are you aiming to sign a 12th player sometime soon?
Yeah, we'll do that. You know, obviously this has all come together pretty quickly. We want to do our due diligence and make sure we're doing all that we can to add the right person, the right player, what we need. I mean, we've got some interesting dynamics going on right now with Aari just coming in, with Damiris leaving for a few games. So, you know, we'll take our time. But know that that's an opportunity, and we will add a 12th player at some point. We've had some adversity here, but I believe strength is built through that. The team is becoming more and more galvanized as we've gone through some of these early tests with injuries and various things we face. So excited to face LA tonight and go to Dallas tomorrow. It was early, right? It's early in the season. We were talking 9-10 games in. And so again, a player at the level of Dewanna's stature and her contract usually requires an equal trade, that's very difficult. Especially, it's difficult anytime, but really difficult early in the season. So again, we just felt like, based on where we were, and again the opportunity to bring Ary back, and again just wanting to respect Dewanna's veteran status, we thought parting ways and waiving her was the best way to go.
So this is really interesting because she pretty much had nothing but glowing things to say about Dewanna Bonner. She was very cordial with her, mentioned her veteran status, mentioned that the best thing for both parties was what to let her go, and importantly to get Ary McDonald after that 10 days. That was very important, and excited to have Ary back. And I think that another important thing too that she talked about was how the team is galvanizing around the adversity that they're going through currently, which I agree with. I can see it. I can see the team on this road stretch. Other team members have talked about it. They are starting to get tighter together, and I think that that is very important, especially when you have stuff like the Dewanna Bonner stuff going on. Overall, pretty cordial from the front office. There's still questions I have. What is very interesting is that Dewanna Bonner made an Instagram post, and in it, she says, "A quitter? Nah, never been that. But when the time comes, let's just make sure the apologies are just as loud as the disrespect. In due time, DB, Queen Crown." Now, here's my thing is, like, this is clearly not a response to the Fever. The Fever organization, everything, have been very cordial with her. They have said nothing disrespectful at all. So clearly what this is she's responding to social media and haters and other stuff that's going on, and fans or of other stuff. I mean, there's so many people that are giving Dewanna Bonner takes right now as far as like the secret cabal of like what they think is going on. And I think the answer is always just simple, right? Like, and people being like, she's such a professional, she wouldn't be tired of being a bench, and she was the sixth woman. It's like, she's late in her career. She wants to, she has one last hurrah, and she's trying to get the most out of that hurrah, and it wasn't working. You know, she was having back and forth all the time with White and coaching staff and Fever players trying to get in and work into the system, and it wasn't working. And so if it's not working, it's not working, and they need Ary McDonald. And if you have a player that where it's not working and she's like, hey, you know what, I want off, and you're both like, yeah, I think that's probably best, then you shake hands and you call it good. But it's just weird to me that there's so much like suspicion, especially by people that dislike the Fever, of that, no, something super nefarious must have happened here, and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I guess we will find out in due time, but this is just one of those things where it's like everybody's being cordial about the situation, but you're responding to people that frankly don't matter. Like, listen to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams has it right. If you don't like what someone says, block them. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you after the game. This is my for sure last video before that happens, because kickoff time is a little bit over an hour from when I am recording this right now, which will probably be even closer by the time this hits you on YouTube. So with all that said, remember, you're going to be amazing today because you are amazing, and I'll catch you after the game.